Welcome to It's Your Business, a program designed to highlight our local small businesses. I'm your host, Veronica Douglas. On today's show, we will speak with Permit Us Now, an industry-recognized technical services firm providing building permit expediting consulting, project management, and CAD services. Permit Us Now can take the stress out of obtaining building permits for city, county, and other jurisdictions through their tailored service packages and solutions. Joining us today is Helen Callier, founder.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to speak with you. And I want to start off by talking about Permit Us Now. Tell us a little bit about it. How long have you been in business?
Sure. So Permit Us Now started in fourth quarter of 2016, and we recognized a need in the marketplace, where the pain was, and thought it was a great idea to fill that void in the marketplace to help architects, project owners, contractors to be able to get their permits in a timely manner. Because here's the bottom line, Veronica. You can have all the pretty plans that you want to, but if you don't have a building permit, you can't get started. At least legally, you can't get started.
And what cities are you currently operating in?
So we're headquarters in Houston, and we also have an office in Austin, and we have one in Jacksonville, Florida as well. So we've had the opportunity to expand since that time. But we cover over 300 jurisdictions in the state of Texas, serving some of our large clients and even small clients that call us from those particular areas. So we're pretty busy in Texas.
Is there a specific industry you focus on, or are you open as far as industries that you're serving?
Yeah, I mean, we have a strong strength on the commercial side. We also have industrial clients, and then we do a lot on the residential as well. So what's important for us is that we're building a solid relationship with somebody who understands that they need the service, right? And then who knows that the benefits of the cost savings and the time savings and can leverage our services to better serve their marketplace and their clients.
Now, you said that you service over 300 jurisdictions. Let's talk a little bit specifically about the city of Houston and the permitting process there. When is a permit required within the city of Houston?
Sure. So if, let's just take, for example, residential, right? And I know that we've had some storms and some floods in the area. So if you have a residential project as an example, and say that you're only going to be painting your walls, putting in new carpet and so forth, that's going to be cosmetic related work, and you're not going to need a permit for that through the city of Houston. However, if you're making major structural changes to a building and a facility, or if it's new construction or expansion, then you're going to need a permit for that, because the city and from the code compliance standpoint, they want to make sure that you're building a safe structure, right? That's not going to fall and harm somebody.
And that's probably directed by an ordinance of such?
That's correct. That's directed by the city's ordinance, and there's several building codes, be it if it's for horizontal work, civil foundation work, or the vertical itself, or the building itself. And
who is required to pull the permit? Is that the resident or the contractor?
In the case for homeowner, it depends on the contract itself, right? So because and the type of work is being done, some homeowners, they may say, hey, they'll pay for it directly and they'll take the responsibility of pulling that, but ultimately that's the responsibility of the contractor, is to pull that particular permit, that master permit, and if he's doing any type of electrical, plumbing, or trade-related disciplines, then to make sure that those trades, the master electrician, master plumber, are pulling their permits as well.
Now, do these permits have to be posted on site?
Yeah, they need to be posted on site, and because that gives evidence for when this, number one, it gives evidence to the project owner that things are in line, that they have a permit, right? And then secondly, as a city inspector may come out, then they can see that things were properly permitted, and then they can do the inspections as need be.
Now, are there expiration dates that follow along with these permits? When someone pulls a permit, is it good for a specific length of time?
Yeah, I mean, so it depends on the type of permit that you pull, but yeah, there could be, for a specific, period of time, and it depends on the type of work, for that, and just being cognizant of that. So some folks may take up to a year in order to get, do the work, and that's perfectly fine, just as long as they're staying within the boundaries of the design for that particular permit was pulled.
And what kind of ramifications will follow for someone who does not pull a permit, but starts to do work, electrical or structural work without the permit?
Yeah, so, if they notice it as they're going through the project itself, then get that permit right away, right? Just stop the work and go and get the permit. The city will understand that the contractor might have got busy, just overlooked it. But if it's something that that was done intentionally, then there could be some ramifications if somebody's trying to hide something, right? But there could be a fine ultimately, and due to a violation, and that could go against the general contractor as well as the tradesperson.
And what is the first step when you're trying to obtain a permit from the city?
Yeah, the first step after praying is to yeah. The first step is that what we recommend is to make sure that they pull the checklist, right? That information can be pulled from the website and use that checklist to say, do I have all the information that's needed in order to properly submit my permit? Because if you're missing something, if you're missing a survey, if you're missing some of the prerequisites, then that's going to cause a delay, right? That's going to cause a delay.
And where is the checklist that you're referencing? Where can that be found?
Yeah, that can be found on the City of Houston's website for the permitting division, and most jurisdictions have a checklist, on their website. I mean, we've found for the most part that most jurisdictions are helpful. They want to make sure that the information is being provided to contractors, project owners, and so forth. So that's always the first step. Go to the website and just pull the information, because it could have been something that changed in the process, right? Or there could be a new code that was falls under the ordinance now that they may not be aware of. So that's always the first check that we recommend.
And we're lucky in Houston. We live in a region where we have storms.
Yes.
And
yes.
so Harvey and Imelda came through and really affected our Houston. How did that affect the permitting process at the city?
Yeah. So from Imelda's standpoint, I think being on the backside of the tax day flood, which was in 2019, right, April timeframe, and then being on the backside of Harvey as well. And so you still have some centers that are in place, satellite offices where folks can go and get assistance. Harvey was a little different, scenario. You did have some backlog there, some shuffling around in order to figure out, we got to get our permits, right? Because it was a load of work that was coming through, not only from the residential side, but from the commercial side, right? Because that's money, right? An impact to the pocketbooks and to the economy.
And Permit Us Now, you guys offer services to help people with the expediting. Talk to us about your one-stop building permit expediting service that you offer.
Sure. So it was our goal, and it is our goal, and what we deliver to our clients is to make sure that we're that one-stop. And what I mean by that is that anything that they're going to require that's associated with getting that building permit, then we're going to help coordinate that effort. So if they need to get a survey, then we have relationships with surveyors. If it needs to be, asbestos testing or so forth, then we have teaming relationships in place to make sure that we're taking that pain away from the project owner or the contractor to ensure that they can move in an expeditious manner to get the permit itself.
So they can focus on their core service, and then there's one point of contact between them and the city, and that would be you.
Correct.
And you would manage and facilitate that process to
That's
make
correct.
sure that everything flows smooth.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, it's our goal to be that single point, going into the city, and to be that liaison working on their behalf, and for them to share with us, what they do well, what they know well, give us the information, and let us rock and roll.
Expand a little bit more on the services you offer. You have a gold, silver, and a platinum service level. Speak to us about each of those.
Sure. So from a gold level, I mean, that's for someone who says, hey, I need assistance with putting together the applications, right? So that's going to be almost like your basic service there. So I'm going to need help with the basic information, put the application together, and then submit it. So that's your core there. Going to the silver, we're going to review the plans, and of course we're going to fill out all the applications, make sure all the prerequisite information is there as well. In addition to getting it submitted, then we're going to follow all the way through. For the platinum, we're taking care of everything.
White glove service.
That is white glove service all the way. We're going to track it all the way through. We're going to monitor any rejection comments that come through, assist in responding to those comments, and then just make sure that it comes out in a timely manner. So there's a distinction for those folks who want to have it in a bucket, categories type services. Others we just simply customize and keep moving.
For someone that's already started the process and they've had their plans rejected from the city and they didn't know about Permit Us Now,
Sure.
How can you help them in a scenario where they're already driving up the street and they've been stopped? How can you help with that?
Sure. We receive a lot of those phone calls, thinking that they can do it on their own. Oftentimes we find that it's just the basic things that was overlooked. So if it might have been an online submission, instead they might have submitted all the files in one folder.
And that's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable. Or it could have been where some of the plans were not properly sealed. Right. So as we take a look and do reviews of the plans before they're submitted in, we're going to review that from a code compliance standpoint. We're going to review it from a design standard standpoint, and we're also going to look at it from a preference. Right. Which reviewers are going to be taking a look at at those plans, and what are they going to be their perspectives to what's going to go through. So we do get often many phone calls, and we did I know during December with some things. For folks to say, hey, I've started the process, I need help. I started the process, I need help. We're going to do an audit to say, what did they submit? Where are they now? And then take it over from there.
I think it's important for our viewers to know that their employees' time is valuable and that they should stay focused on what their core services are and let someone like Permit Us Now come in and assist, because it sounds like things can get bumpy.
Sure.
Along the process, and if you're not familiar with what you're doing and what you're looking at, that's going to delay the project even longer.
That's true. I mean, we're living and breathing the process. We're at the city, pretty much every day, and or either on the phone with other jurisdictions or at other jurisdictions as well. And so we're going to know the changes in the processes. We're going to know what's going to be upcoming changes in the building codes and standards versus grabbing somebody from the contractor's team or from the architect's team, and they're not on top of that. So that's a delay right there, because now you have to come up to speed, all right, with what's the latest and greatest, and take that time to do so. Back in 2016 when we started Permit Us Now, I had just gone through the HCC business plan competition, and also a Goldman Sachs alumni as well. And so it was during the 10,000 Small Business Goldman Sachs program we had identified that as a growth area, but it wasn't until 2016 that I took advantage of the business plan competition to say, now it's time to flesh it out. Now it's time to flesh it out, because we can see the pain in the marketplace, right? We can hear the screams, we can see the long delay times, with folks going through the city of Houston to obtain their building permits. And not only the city of Houston, but other cities. It says, how can we make a difference there, right? And so our staff, which consists of associate architects, construction managers, folks with technical skill sets. I went to Prairie View A&M with the mechanical engineering, so it's understanding the design side as well as the construction side, so we can talk the language, plus we understand the government speak.
Right.
And so that's huge value savings, coming to the client. So there was one particular client at the time that was, 6 months with getting a permit, and we were able to come in and to get that collapsed and take care of it within a 30-day period. And then there are other projects that came down the pike. It was 30 days versus 6 months. The cost savings right there.
Let's take a quick break, Helen. When we return, I want to continue talking about your experience in Goldman Sachs.
Sure. As
well as how you're continuing to save your clients money.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, we're going to continue this great conversation with Helen Callier, founder of Permit Us Now.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
This is Mac. She's ready to build herself a house and a business. But first, she's building her resume with a construction certification from Houston Community College. HCC, for everyone, anytime.
Welcome back. We're going to finish our conversation with Helen. And Helen, we left off talking about delays and how costly they are. So how much money can someone really lose chasing a permit without going and using Permit Us Now?
Sure. I mean, it could be, twice the amount of time, and double what they might have, estimated for what it was going to cost them to get a permit. Because again, it could be just small items, or it could be major design-related issues that could have been addressed up front. And one of the things for our clients, our message is we want to get started early. And what does early mean? Is that when they're developing those construction documents, pull us in, pull us in. And we're then going to start conversations with the particular jurisdiction in order to hedge position and start slicing into that time.
Because you're obviously very familiar with the known and unknown delays. So for someone to just go at it alone, whether it's residential or commercial, it's just they're going to take a loss either way. They're either going to wait, they're going to get their plans rejected, they're going to lose money, they're not focusing on their core services. And so for you, that's the client that you're looking for.
That is, the ideal client for us is somebody we don't have to convince. They know the pain, and they're reaching out to us. Our company vehicles are fully wrapped.
I like that.
They're fully wrapped, and we get the phone calls, and we can even be at even at the city of Houston, and folks will come up to us and they'll knock on the windows like, hey, I got a problem here, right?
And I commend you on that because you market your business very well. You don't see very many cars, vehicles wrapped in the city with their business on them. And I notice you in the parking lot when I pull in. And so that marketing, I think, is also an essential piece to our small businesses continuing to grow and to get clients.
Sure.
Because if people don't know who you are, they're not going to call you.
It's a clear differentiator for us. It's an investment in our business, and it's also a commitment to the marketplace, right? Because when you're wrapping your full vehicle, that's a commitment to the marketplace, because that's not $50 worth of wrap. That's a commitment.
Right. And so how long, again, is the process for someone that's not using your service? I want to make it clear that your service is an added value. So what is the time frame someone is looking at that's not going to use Permit Us Now?
So for us, we're going to be slicing in half of that time. We're going to be very aggressive, again, because we're getting started early, and because of the relationships that we have in place and the knowledge, we're slicing that time in half. And again, it's ideal for those folks who recognize that it's a pain. They do not have time for their staff to be going back and forth to a particular jurisdiction and or either on the phone attempting to catch up with somebody, right? You're playing the phone game. And then what's the best way to respond to rejections? Right, and because that's one of the things that we do see is that not fully responding to the rejections, and that's going to be an automatic delay from there, because if you say, hey, see page whatever or see sheet whatever, that's not going to be or they totally don't respond to the rejection at all, and those are just added times.
And can you share with us who some of your clients are?
Sure. Some of our clients that we're fortunate to have and very, very thankful for the business. HEB is one of our clients, and that's HEB Grocery. I think they've been recognized recently as being the top grocery chain in the country, and that's huge. And so we permit for HEB ground up stores, new ground up stores, the curbsides, the meal simples, a lot of innovations, internal renovations, pharmacies, I mean, just throughout, major manufacturing facilities as well, so very thankful. Brake Check is a significant client of ours, as well as we do a lot of work on United's concessions at the airport, and that's through OTG, who's the manager for that. So as you go through the Houston airport system, most of those concessions, restaurants and retail, probably about 85% of those we've handled the permits on.
Wow.
Which is significant, and that includes Hobby Airport as well. We're so thankful that the Southwest Airlines hangar has recently been officially open for Southwest, and that's the hangar that's at Hobby Airport. We work with McCarthy Construction on that, and so Southwest has been. We've worked on the international terminal as well, and so those are very thankful for the large clients, and I know the folks at housing would probably run over me if I don't mention the work that we're doing on housing projects, tied to some of the disasters and part of the disaster recovery. So thankful for the work that we're getting through Houston Housing too.
And you were recognized recently by HEB, correct?
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that.
very thankful to have had a featured commercial with HEB. Along with being recognized in 2018, it was fourth quarter of 2018 as being their diverse vendor of the year. And as you know, HEB has a lot of suppliers and vendors, and
lots of stores going up too.
A lot of stores going up across the state. So that's not only the Houston area; that's throughout the state of Texas. So that's huge.
And how are you assisting people with accessibility reviews?
Yeah. So from an ADA, code compliance standpoint, accessibility reviews, I mean, those are definitely required on new construction. Residential is a little different, but for commercial construction and work that we're doing at the airport. So we coordinate that through TDLR, Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, and that liaison there, and then we'll work closely with the registered accessibility specialists, folks that we have on the team that will then do those reviews, and then the site inspections, and then the final reports.
And since you brought up the Texas Department of Licenses Regulations, I want to make a point that you were appointed by Governor Abbott in 2016 to serve.
Yes.
And I want to know a little bit more about your role and your experience in serving and how you're helping the community.
Yeah. So very thankful for that appointment for Governor Abbott. It gives me an opportunity to assist other businesses. Because as you know, being licensed as a journeyman electrician, master electrician, barbers, cosmetologists, and so forth, those are small business owners. Right, and so that gives me an opportunity to make sure that rules and regulations are kept to a minimum, that we help save costs, that we help to minimize the impact of regulations on other small businesses, which helps with the economy, right? Creating jobs, which are huge. TDLR is a tier 1 agency for the governor and for the state because of how it does impact the economy, and I'm for the state of Texas. I'm so thankful for that. So we're doing wonderful things. We just recently unfolding and launching the sex trafficking unit within TDLR, because we have the massage program that's underneath that we regulate, and that's an area that has been identified for high risk for sex trafficking. So in fact, this particular month, the month of January, is Sex Trafficking Awareness Month, and I'm happy to be supporting that through TDLR. To heighten that, because it is such a large issue. And as you may know, I mean, city of Houston is one of the capitals, unfortunately, of sex trafficking. Yeah.
Before we move on and talk about some of the other great things you're doing, do you have any helpful tips that you want to let our viewers know about building codes and compliance during the process?
Sure. So helpful tips is do not assume that you know everything, right? Definitely go to the website. Make a phone call, ask the questions if you need to ask the questions, because that's going to save time. Oftentimes we'll see where some of the general contractors assume that the plans that were provided are fully correct and in accordance to the building codes. That may not be the case. So have those conversations early on with the designers. Have those conversations early on with the particular jurisdictions. Check the websites, use the checklist, because that will save you time and money. And a lot of folks are saying, "Oh, gee, Helen, that's all simple stuff." Well, the simple stuff can take you out. right?
And the one most important thing I think you failed to mention is use Permit Us Now.
Use Permit Us Now. You can find us online at permitusnow.com. We have our 800 number on there that they can feel free to hit the team, and we'll be more than happy to speak with them. And of course, you know, we have the monthly articles that are in Subcontractors USA, and so thankful for the helpful tips here. And they can find these on our website as well at permitusnow.com. But we're here as a resource. I mean, we're dedicated to the industry, following it closely, and just love what we're doing.
And you are a big supporter of NAMAC, and you're very involved. And you actually participated as a sponsor with the Construction Workers Day. That happens every year out at the Astros Field, Minute Maid Park.
That's correct. So in 2019, it was at Minute Maid Park. That was, you know, a fantastic day to be supporting the you know, the day of the construction worker, you know, typically around Labor Day, right? And I don't know if a lot of folks understand the history behind Labor Day. I believe it started around 1895, 1894 as a result of a huge accident that happened along one of the railroads. And it was roughly about 80 or 90 people who were injured or either killed during that time. As a result of that, it became a national recognized holiday. And so the Day of the Construction Workers, its main focus is to be able to say, you know, we care about the workers, make sure that you're operating in a safe manner, and then we recognize the successes, you know, on that particular day. So August 29th, be there, because that's the Day of the Construction Worker for NAMAC, and I believe it's going to be at NRG this particular go-around, kind of shifted location. So very, you know, thankful for you mentioning that, because being safe on the site, construction sites, are very important. And so even for my team, we go through OSHA 30 training, right? We are on job sites because we may be there doing inspections, we may be having meetings, so we may not have the hammers in our hand, but we still want to make sure that we're adding value and that we are certified like they are. So we go through the OSHA 30 training as well, and so that's an added value.
It's really great that you're able to get out and you're able to manage your business, but get out in the community and spread the knowledge that you have and assist and help, because there are so many small businesses out there that do need the assistance that you're providing.
I mean, that's one of the benefits with that was highlighted, things that we gained through going through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. I mean, the focus with that is work on your business, build a strong team. I would not be able to do what I do without a strong team, and I'm very thankful for the folks that we have that's working for us all the way across, and that's only, you know, complemented by the business plan competition. Of course, what you do as well, always encouraging small businesses throughout the community. So I appreciate that. In
closing, Helen, give us the alumni, what year you went through Goldman Sachs, and again, tell us how we can get in contact with your team.
Sure. In 2014, went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and that was cohort 9. And you know, it was one of the earlier ones. I think we're almost to 10,000 across the country, and so very thankful for the impact and what that's done for my businesses across the board. You can find us online at www.permitusnow.com, permitusnow.com, and if you see my blue trucks and the blue trucks rolling through the city or across the state of Texas, blow the horn and then come on by and give us a call as well. So look forward to speaking with you.
Helen, thanks again for coming on, and again, congratulations on your award with HEB, being a Goldman Sachs alumni, the work that you've done with the Super Bowl, GPC, and then you've also been named as MWBE Firm of the Year. So congratulations on all of your accomplishments. Your work is not going unnoticed. We appreciate everything, the service you're providing.
Thanks Veronica, for what you do, and thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you. For more information on HCC Small Business Development Program, please visit our website. For It's Your Business, I'm your host, Veronica Douglas.